Alright, I guess that was just a kill wall. Oh, yeah. Oh. It's Icelandic throat singing. Next week, Tyrell, if we get your season done in the next 2 streams, we should do State of Decay 2 Heartland. If you don't mind keeping that in mind, I would love to get that done and play a co-op. Make another co-op stream and also knock it off the old list. If I leave this week with Doom done, I don't want to talk too much because last week the goal was Doom and I didn't do it. I didn't get her done. Heartland, man. Actually, no, my 2 goals this week are Doom and Trader Legacy, because I figured that, but next week, if we do Heartland, that'd be sweet. Oh, fuck, that was terrible. That shot was off by a mile, and I knew it as I took the shot. Now, we did some cool-ass headshots in that last little flurry. We got some imps, which are super hard to headshot, those little flying gnat things. I'm gonna fucking miss that one. Sucks. Let's do it. Sweet, thank you. Fuck, I miss co-op gaming. Dude, I miss the co-op gaming couple. Those are fun streams. You and your wife playing games together. It's always a good time. You guys have great chemistry together. Been geared up for a Patreon launch end of the month. It's been eating all my free time to bulk some YouTube shit. Hey, you better do that Borderlands 3 playthrough. I want to see that thing, man. I want to see it on YouTube at the very least so I can watch it. Borderlands 3 keeps getting better and better. Here in, God, the next week, probably. We should get Mayhem 2.0. I'll be back on the Borderlands grind. I want to build a big ship from the Borderlands 3 collector's kit. Oh man, that'd be dope. We should totally do that. That ties that ties directly into your content. If you hit those guys just right with the super shotgun, that's what happens. And it's like a little bit of the head, and you got to get both the jets on the top and you got to get the head. But if you do that, they instantly go into glory kill. So Revenants were bitches actually in 2016, and they were much tougher. So were Pinkies. So how they made up for that is they just added even tougher enemies, and they made everything has a strength and a weakness basically, except for the fucking Marauders. Yeah, I know. There's gonna be people that are like, hey, actually, his weakness is medium range, and he has a tail. Actually, the Marauder's good for Doom, even though it pisses 99% of people off, because that one person likes it. It's good for Doom. I don't know that they should change the Marauder either. Okay. Maybe it's good that the guy's a total asshole. Maybe it's bad. I don't have a conclusion on the topic. But I do think that the dog is too damn much and the rent is too damn high. I mean, the rent must be too damn high. They gotta... Apparently 1/3 of Americans are gonna miss their rent this month. I'd say the old Uncle Sam's gonna have to do some more stuff. This Chrono Strike. I didn't mess with it last time, but I'm gonna mess with it this time. Help us get this headshot. I wish someone would take this game, mod it to be Aliens vs Predator, Lone Predator versus an Alien Hive. That's why you should continue to work in the game industry, Rikers. That's why you should continue to work in the game industry. That is a really good idea. I like that. That'd be an amazing DLC. Let's put that in the quotes so that it's written down. Because that's a good idea. You're going to be quote 259. Alright, how are we gonna do this? We gotta get up top. Yar! We were just up there. Yeah, I don't see making that jump. Ah. We're gonna die. Oh, it was so close. Ow. It's Doom. In the words of Jeremiah, you gotta either shoot it or you gotta punch it. I'm gonna assume we've got the pop shots done now. Yeah, we did. Sweet. Oh, nice! I see why he likes it. Hell yeah. So anytime you're in the air, you get slow-mo. That's really good. Aw, the dash killed him. I was sitting there and I've been hesitant about... By the way, does that box take up too much of the screen? Let me know. It should actually take up less of the screen than the Borderlands 3 loot crate used to. But the new tip jar thing. I was hesitant, you know, and I just didn't get around to playing it anymore after last week, but it's like, it's so dumb because every time I come in here and start to play it, I start to have fun. Because the game itself is really fun. It can be so unbelievably frustrating, but when you're doing things correctly and it's going your way, it's just so fun. I love working from home, can stream watch, test shit, write bugs, look out the window and question if I'm on a ship and a hologram, if I can go in the woods and keep walking. I like it. Chrono Strike is strong. Chrono Strike is really strong. Oh, how did he die? It's alright. We got it back on the, what are those guys called? Oh. Carcass. Yeah, the carcasses. Carcasses, I think, are actually worth keeping around. Because you can use their, you can use their plasma shield as a burst. There's definitely a rune down there, but I think we have to actually go down. so creepy. It's like horror synth. Yeah, this is more of a horror game than Doom 2016. Doom 2016 is definitely all about just being the Doomslayer and just kicking ass. And there's some, like, you know, dark environments, but this game's got a lot more gore and a lot more doom and gloom to it. Like, Doom 3 was straight up just a horror game. What I like to say about Doom Eternal is it's like you took Doom 2016, you took Doom 3, and you took Metroid Prime from the GameCube and you put them all into one thing. It's got like the map, the level design, and the platforming of Metroid Prime. You're still the Doomslayer from 2016, but you take the ammo's scarcity and you take the core elements of Doom 3 and you basically have Doom Eternal. The way they work the ammo scarcity is you only get ammo back from the chain. You have a lot less ammo, but you have the chainsaw. Chainsaw always gets you your ammo back. You always have the right tool for the job. You're always super powerful, just like 2016. It's just that it's a more challenging game overall, even though you're more powerful, because if you don't use your tools correctly, at the right moment, and in the right coordination, then you're gonna fail. There's just no getting around it, because everything will be very spongy, and you're not going to have the ammo, and you're not going to have the survivability to hang. But if you do things correctly, and you do use the right tools, and you use the counters, then you're a god, just like Doom 2016. I'd say it's a tighter game. I've heard it accused of bloat, but I don't think that it's bloated. I think that they actually tightened it up, oddly enough. I think maybe the story got a little bloated, not in the amount of missions. Like, I wouldn't mind more missions, because it's a really fun, of course, it's a really fun campaign. But I think that there's some the album art is always so cool. And Commander Keen, a classic Bethesda IP, which they turned into a shitty mobile game, because, you know, Bethesda in 2020 is Bethesda in 2020. But, I think that I can get on board with some of the complaints about the lore being bloated, where Doom 2016 is all about, like, yeah, he's the Doomslayer, and people try to put deep meaning on him, but that's the thing, there is no deeper meaning, and he's just one really, really fucking angry guy who got imbued with divine powers along the way. But basically, he's just pure rage. He's too angry to die. And now there is, like, a whole thing. You know, he was a Sentinel who started a Maker rebellion, and the Makers turned against him, and there's two types of Makers, and it's like, there's, you know, now it's kind of like they started taking it seriously, where Doom 2016 was about, like, oh my god, people are trying to put deep meaning on a guy that just wants to rip and tear until it's done. Let's run with it. And it's for better and for the worse. It's good that they keep deepening it up, deepening the lore and the story. But there's a large part of it, me personally, that I just don't give a shit about. I get pretty lost in the details, and it becomes like Destiny for me, where it's like a lot of heeth and doeth and saith, and I can't really follow the 15 different characters I'm supposed to follow, and because I'm playing a game. If I was reading a novel, sure, but I'm playing a game, and it's all in the background. They got a bunch of metal vocalists to make the unearthly choral singing in this one. Oh, that's really sweet. Nice. That's dope. When's your PC stuff come in, Will? So I'm going to be excited to get your take on this. I know you're going to fucking blast through it. For the newest gen stuff, there's two games that really have me wanting to play. Not too much stuff the past 5 years that made me want to. What's your favorite style of game, Marcus? Like, there's no denying that Doom Eternal is a really, really good game. Just like Doom 2016 was a masterpiece. The question, I think, consistently is it better than Doom 2016? Is it worse? And by and large, where I'm at right now, even though my opinions are not, like, set yet, is it's about the same. Which means a masterpiece, you know? It's like it's totally one of the best FPSs in the entire world. But it's still mostly Doom. There's nothing here that really, like, Doom 2016 is lucky just for the sake of when it existed, when it came out, and and how it came out. Doom 2016 rewrote the book. It rewrote the book and said what was old is new. You can still make a game mechanically like the shooters we made in the 90s, and it still be great. And not only be great, but fucking kick ass and become the industry standard again. And Doom Eternal was kind of saying like, yeah, you can still do that thing, but it's not like rewriting the playbook like 16 did. And that's not Eternal's fault. It's just that 16 came out. It was a remaster, and it was a reboot, and it was a sequel. And it was the right time, it was the right place, and that game did the right things. So Doom Eternal, so far, is like still excellent. But it's not like setting a new trend. Everything is here except the case on Wednesday. Nice. So you'd be building it this week then. That'll be exciting. I'm happy for you, Will. So it goes through waves, different times of the year, really. The only game genre I don't play at all is sports. I haven't played a sports game in a long time. I used to love them. I used to get super addicted to baseball simulators because I was like you. I was a baseball player. So I loved baseball manager simulators, and I loved playing. I just had one baseball game, and I just put tons and tons of time into it. I love the history of baseball. So yeah, but I haven't for a long time, and I kind of want to. Echo Demons, man, you don't get them; they get you. I kind of want to see if the magic of it is still there. But I'm so pissed off at sports franchises in general now because of the fucking yearly installment. You know, they've been fucking neutered, man. The fact that you have to buy a loot box to get a card, and the player card, it'd be like, oh, it's the Tom Brady, but it's the bronze Tom Brady of 1998, and it wears out after 3 matches, so it doesn't really matter. And then you gotta try to keep buying the fucking loot boxes until you get the gold Tom Brady, and the gold Tom Brady will last for, 6 games, and then you gotta do it all over again. It's just, they've become absolute online casinos that, they're just trash. They're everything wrong with games at this point. They got loot boxes, they're always online, they do the yearly installments, they don't get any better, they keep getting worse. Whereas I had MLB Fever 2002, the year that, Gomo Apara, whatever. The guy, he went from Boston to Chicago, and they thought he was gonna be able to write the curse, but he didn't. Yomar Apara, I don't know, whatever. He was a shortstop, he was a good ball player. He got traded to the Cubs, it was like a huge deal. He was on the cover of it. Dude, I didn't have Xbox Live, but it had a baseball management simulator in it, so it didn't matter. I just made a bunch of ball players, and it had like all the historical players in there. It had Honus Wagner, Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Satchel Paige. It had all the great ball players. So you just build your own freaking rosters, and you never needed a new baseball game ever. Problem is, it's either EA or 2K, and they make the same game over and over with the same bugs. Right. And they clearly put on, like, whoever is the new staff this year, and they blitz out a game, and they get worse every year. And it's not only that they're shittier every year, it's that they're so heavily monetized. Like, not only are you asking $60 per year to buy these games, you have all these endless loot boxes in between, and thank God people are starting to rebel, because people who play sports games are, generally speaking, not gamers like we are. They don't look at the new releases, they don't really follow the news, they just buy their yearly sports game, which is why FIFA sells so many copies, because you're not selling to us. It's like mobile games, you're just selling to the people who love fucking soccer, which is the most popular sport in the world. But thankfully, those fans are starting to rebel, which tells you just how shitty it's gotten, and how apparently little of a fuck they had left to give on with these games. That even those people who were really willing to eat shit, I don't know that there's any other way to say it, were no longer willing to eat shit. Even they knew that it was just a totally bad deal. I'm gonna actually upgrade some armor here. we get to the next one to test, it was like the previous game, and the new features tacked on, so that's why it's the same bugs. And they started eliminating features eventually. You really don't need any other Madden than 2004. The 2004 Madden that won Game of the Year. 2004's Madden, no loot boxes, no bullshit. It was just a solid football game, and there's been zero innovation in the genre. Because EA bought a monopoly and bought the rights to the NFL, there's been zero innovation. There was one game that tried to innovate, and I think it was called like Full Body or something. And basically Full Body was super interesting. But it didn't sell that great because you don't have the NFL license, but it added a whole new physics engine to the game. So like tackles really hit, and the way you ran was from the hip, so it wasn't stiff anymore. And it wasn't as like clunky as that WASD sprinting game, but it was a lot more mechanically complex to do plays, and it was all like straight up the way football is. You can't just throw it a 60-yard bomb every other play. And you were always whatever player had the ball, of course, but you could also play the line, and it was a really deep defensive game. It just didn't sell for worth a damn, but there's just been, no innovation. And the 2004 Madden had, Live connected to it, or PSN. And so what you could do is just build a roster. Every year the roster got updated on that game. Without loot boxes, without anything. And I don't think they've included that feature since. But basically, whatever the draft was that year, and whatever the roster card said, that was what the game played up to. I'm sure they don't update it anymore, but you didn't need another fucking Madden game after that. So they've been retreading the same territory with zero innovation for a very long time. I mean, the most innovative sports game in the last 20 years is Wii Sports. That's how bad it is. Wii Sports is obviously great. To me, it's the most innovative sports game in the past 20 years. It's the same garbage. I need to stop doing that once we finish that challenge. Blitz, yeah, Blitz. Blitz was lucky because it didn't play to the NFL logo, or maybe it used to, but then they changed it to like that really extreme football. There was another game that came out, but it was really shitty, but it at least tried to innovate, and it was that like Orcs versus Goblins NFL game, where they basically fucking killed one another, like your quarterback would literally die. I think it was called Blood Bowl. But yeah, your goal was to actually kill the other team, and it was like completely ridiculous. At least it's different. That was a very controversial thing, and why that was allowed to go through is still to me questionable. Why EA was allowed to have sole rights to the NFL license. Great business decision. Excuse me, sorry. Can't, excuse me. Devour. I can't fault them on the fact that is probably the best business decision EA's made in a long time. Same with FIFA. But it wasn't good for the industry, and it was not good for consumers. And so sports games have been stuck in place. Sports game could be, imagine with VR now, imagine with the Oculus Rift, what sports games could become. You know that really famous commercial, you maybe didn't have it in Canada, but we had it in the States? It was the Michael Vick experience, because Michael Vick was like a scrambling quarterback, and he was really fast. And he tended to just take off. And there was this really famous ad that like Gatorade or Nike ran. And like it was like a roller coaster. And you were like, simulating being Michael Vick. You could do that with VR now. I mean, I know we still don't have haptics, which is the next step, but instead we have Madden, and Madden is basically identical to fucking Madden 2004. Just with much more monetization. I prefer more arcadey titles like Blitz or NBA Jam. I like it with my basketball games. I liked 1v1, the And One Street Basketball. That was like 3v3. Really need a chainsaw kill. But yeah, the arcadey ones were fun. I didn't do them with football. And with baseball, like I said, I really like the traditional thing. I could lose hours and hours to spreadsheets and baseball management simulators. It's like Twitter, they hit the mark out of the gates and had nowhere to go from there. Right. Right, and they still have never really... I mean, Twitter's a fucking mutant from what it was intended. It was intended to be like that's a small thing where localities could... Like your fire department would have a Twitter, and your mayor, and your police department, and your local hospital, and you would just stay informed on like your city. And instead, it's just this place of total political vitriol. I can find the weirdest, strangest shit on Twitter, and it's easy. You just look at a post by any politician, you read the replies, and before you know it, you're like looking at somebody who's a fucking Leninist with a machine gun saying this is how you vote in America, and it's like you just find the weirdest shit on Twitter. I used up my dashes. How did we... What? What? It's like the game really does not want us to do it that way. Fuck. Felt confident that was gonna land. Oh man, I hate the friendly fire on the overload. Plasma overload. There's a reason we have to come over here. Oh, we're gonna have this guy. Okay, well we know Blood Punch hurts him. We know how to deal with him just from the last playthrough. This guy's gonna become a consistent enemy now. I'm not a big fan of these guys, but I've gotten more used to them than the Marauder. At least these guys have weaknesses. Plasma Cannon, Blood Punch. It's like Plasma Cannon, Blood Punch, and then Rocket Launcher. That's how you deal with them. Never did get down here before. We need to remember before we leave this mission to freaking... fast travel. See, that's a window. So there's no... going in from that direction. In defense of Doom's platforming. I don't know. Definitely there's obviously something under there, but just how the hell we get down there or in there is, you know what, I'm gonna look. while I'm here. I want to know, man. These are the things I need to know. We're on mission 4. God, it's getting worse and worse and worse. What is causing this? Anyway. Is that where that is? You pick up a codex, da-da-da-da. Find a green switch. Weighs a rifle. That might be it. Need to find a switch. It's called wanting it. Do you have it? Right. A green switch. From where? I mean, it looks like it's gonna open up this door, so... Find a green switch that you can shoot. Oh. Ah. It was always just that easy. It was always just that easy. Remember not to misuse the freaking fast travel. We've got to go through because I don't want to backtrack this whole damn game. Smooth moves. X-Lax. Never heard that one before. So you bought a new case as well? And a new power supply? Oh no, everything's here except the case. So just a new case. New case, new MOBA, and new CPU, right? Whole new computer? You bought a new power supply, a new MOBA, a new GPU. The whole thing? I thought you were gonna use some of your old parts. Even new RAM? Saw so many animals in our backyard today. Deer, blue herring, and fucking beaver. Oh, that's cool, man. Hope you took some pictures. That's pretty dope. Whole new ball game. Damn, so what are your specs? What all do you got now?
I thought you would appreciate the sentry I chose. The great Argadon hunters from the Telos realm.
The great Argadon hunters from the Telos realm.
Only the Slayer and his Night Sentinels during the unholy crusades. Some improvements on their design have been made. Enjoy what is undoubtedly my finest work.
You got a 2070 Super, 32 gigs of RAM, a 570 chipset, fractal design, may shift this too. I don't know what that last part is. 3600, that's smart, especially since you're gaming and not making content. 2070 Super, I'm jealous of. Ah. So what's your power supply? Or did you keep your old power supply?
I expected more from the great
That man
Slayer.
should have just taken a lot more damage. I think this guy's different than the ones we end up fighting consistently throughout the game.
Excellent. Smash the
This guy hits really hard now. Isn't that your old one? I thought you already had a really good power supply. It sounds like your old one. You have to send a picture of the case on the Discord. I'd like to see what it looks like. What you went with. Congrats on the 2070 Super. That's dope, Wilso. It's fucking sweet. Are you gonna use your old Windows, or are you gonna do a fresh install of Windows? That's what you use. See, he's not taking much damage. Oh, there went our health we built up. But you're getting your okay, so you're not gonna do a fresh install of Windows then. That makes sense. It's like 9 years old. Why is this guy not taking much damage? He's dealing a lot of damage.
Excellent.
He's dealing a fucking stupid amount of damage. Pretty much, we get 2 hit by him. Doesn't matter how much health we build up. Shit. We gotta make sure we get those glory kills. We got it for immunity frames.
Excellent. Smash the heretic.
That did good work, damn. Did a lot of damage to us in the meantime. What? Why was there no glory kill there? Why? Ah, what the fuck? I needed that blood punch. I needed that blood punch. He's gonna get his fucking shield back.
Excellent.
Fuck you, man.
Smash the heretic.
Yeah, now he really doesn't like rocket launchers. That was close. I risked too much getting that glory kill. Grapple, jeez. Fucking grab this, please. Whew.
Useless machine.
Alright, next phase. It gets worse. No guts, no glory kill. I wish they had a watch replay of those boss battles from Fly on the Wall so you can see all the pole flipping and crazy leaping around. Yeah, like a heat map. That'd be pretty sweet. It gets harder now, you gotta deal with 2 of these bastards.
Excellent.
See, they'll only have 1 life when we get to the main game, but they give them 2 lives on this one. But thankfully, from our first playthrough, I know how to deal with them. That was a waste of blood punch, but it is what it is. That wasn't good. Oh no. Damn, we took a lot of damage there. Oh, what the fuck? I'm hitting the glory kill and the blood punch at the same button, so. And we need blood punch. Get another blood punch back. If he's off his sled, we'll make him hurt.
Excellent. Smash the heretic.
No, you motherfucker, get away from me. One has another blood punch, but oh, you fucker. Oh, you gotta give me that health back. Alright. Where is he? Ooh! First try? Well, I died once.
The beast. Does he not seek enhanced power? Gifts to aid him in his noble conquest. Perhaps in return for my...
All sweaty. Yep. All sweaty, but he's dead. Basically, the big advantage is we beat the game once on Ultra Violence, so now we know the weaknesses of these enemies. And his weakness is one plasma overload. He gets knocked off his sled. Blood punch the sled. Now he's weak. One locked on rocket launcher. He's weak arm spaghetti. And we left that mission without 100%ing it, so. But we're moving up levels. We're gonna go to mission 5. We're just gonna have to backtrack